would say that this is the birthplace of our music, right here in this area.
We started playing in the clubs in this whole area in the South Bay. When we were coming up there, tons of blues clubs out there. San Pedro used to be sort of like the way New Orleans is today. Just
that's right.
Clubs on every corner, and we had the opportunity to just get our musical background in all these clubs down here.
Our music was influenced by reggae, salsa, merengue, mariachi, and the list goes on.
The reason why war is so unique is because we have so many different ideas that we've taken and put together to create one sound.
We weren't afraid to take chances. We never played safe. Our music wasn't a safe place to be for us. We didn't like to settle and be safe in a format.
We didn't look at music as this music was black or this music was white or this music was Mexican. We looked at all music as a universal language. This area has a lot of fond memories. I know like one time we got down here and we started trying to experiment with a lot of music, and that's when we coined the phrase, we became the creators, because we're the creators of music.
Playing here at Jeffrey's was, when we first started off here, was one of our more like competitive type things to do, because the band that was holding this club down when we first came out, very popular band at the time called the Handicappers.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And what we had to do was, they were the house band here, they were very popular band, everybody in the band was handicapped. And here we come out of Compton, fresh across the tracks over here. Rascal's gonna come up here and be as bad as he was, take a job from some handicapped guys.
One of the things that was always sticking in my mind about Jeffy, I gotta say that he used to always tell us, he always would tell us, listen here, if you're gonna keep a gig, you gotta learn how to play everything on the jukebox. If you can't play what's on the jukebox, you don't have a job. Turn on the camera now. I thought that was you.
We started right here with this man right here. He gave us our first shot.
What the hell you guys done out here?
You can put our new record on your jukebox. I mean, it's called Peace Sign, man. But you gotta understand, this is a song we got that's gonna change things from here all the way through this whole neighborhood.
Going back in the neighborhood.
Yeah, just say, man.
Like I used to say, you gotta come back home with it now.
You never forget where you come from.
Well, you caught on to that, didn't you?
He let me in the club. He shouldn't have let you in.
Yeah, that was a big mistake when I let him in. He ain't been the same since.
So one night in North Hollywood, which is about 20 miles from here, due north, and we were there at the Ragdoll playing, and we thought it was going to be our last gig, but lo and behold, who shows up that night? Eric Burdon comes into the club at the Ragdoll.
All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher.
This is where we come to write a lot. Up here, it's always good to write. One of them I always think about, the fun that we had making it was lowrider. We're in the studio and Charles Miller was sitting over on the side, cool Charles Miller. And we started off with a groove, and next thing I knew, out of his mouth, he started saying, low rider. And you know, that was the beginning of a hit.
We write about what we see. This is where we live. This is where we grew up. And the songs we write about is what we see every day.
Songs like The World is a Ghetto, the influence of our surroundings. We always have a story to write about, and actually we're just making people aware of most of our messages.
We like to write so many different types of songs to try to make people aware. And we have one particular song, What If? And that song was written basically because what we like to do in our music is make people aware, and especially the young people. We like to try to educate them on what's going on, have them look at things and think for themselves. And What If is one of those type of songs that ask you, what if there are no more fish in the sea? What if I told you life has no guarantees? What about peace? Our plan with our music is just to try to let the young people know that there is hope and that you can do it.
We asked the question in Homeless Hero, why were we in Vietnam? First of all, why were so many Americans, young Americans, killed in Vietnam for no reason? And the second thing we took on in Vietnam was the issue of homelessness. So we wrote a song called Homeless Hero. We created a real life situation about a guy coming out of Vietnam after serving his country very well for 2 terms in Vietnam, 2 years, and being out there in the field. He was decorated and he was a hero. Now we write some funky music. Funky music is what we do best, but the roof is past funk. It's way past funk. The roof is what we would have to call silly because it's so funky, but it's a great song. It's a dance song. Once you hear it, it's going to have you like jumping through the roof, partying through the roof, kicking it through the roof. That's what we call it, the roof. We can put you into a visual state with our words, you know, like Wild Rodriguez is such an animated song. So when you hear the lyric of like Wild Rodriguez and you listen to it, automatically in your mind you're going to be able to put together this character. You're going to be able to see Wild Rodriguez. And by the time the song is over, not only are you going to be able to see him, you're going to be able to smile because he's going to make you laugh. And our music will make you laugh. War has always been a dysfunctional family. War has always been a family-oriented band. We all grew up together and had that kind of love for each other. During the 80s was the hardest time that we had. Our transitional period was in the 80s. With the 80s, Harold Brown left the band, Charles Miller left, Papa D. Allen also left in the 80s. But in the 80s, what happened good was Ronnie Hammon came into the band.
The marriage was already there. We had shared a lot of things years before. And through that, we watched the kids grow up. You have Ray Jr. here who came up and he got a chance now, just like we did once upon a time, to grow musically with one another.
There's a new style of music that War is putting across. Actually, you know, they've had, being musicians all themselves, they've always had a style of their own. Okay, so coming into the 90s, it's that same style, only in a revised way.
One day, just imagining being in Los Angeles during rush hour with all these things happening, and you got to get to work, and everybody's kind of like pretty uptight. And you look over at somebody in the next car, and they give you the look back, and it's like a heated situation, and then you pop the peace sign on.